Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA, and I'm here with Miguel. A few months back, I saw his car out at a car event, and I thought, we just got to shoot it. Now, I'm telling you right now, don't look at this and think it's just a 72 240Z, which in itself is actually a cool car, but this one's got a bit more going on. So when you bought it, was it a clean car?
No, it was a rust buggy. Typical rust buggy that you see usually on Craigslist. That's like maybe, back then it was actually 600 bucks.
So it was a beater.
It was a beater.
Okay.
He left it in the backyard for I think at least 7 years. He basically was going to use it as a dragster, but then he changed his mind. So he was like, I don't need it no more. It's just been sitting in my yard. Do you want it? Sure.
Yeah.
And 4 years down the line.
That's how long your project, and you and your dad did the whole build, right?
Right, correct, yes.
Other than, you said you had paint done elsewhere, but you and your dad did everything else.
Everything else except the paint and the actual block of the engine honing, all that. Except that, everything else is all done in the garage, in my house. Just me and my dad after work.
Right.
Yeah.
Check this one out, you guys. From here, all the way back to about where?
Over here?
Came off. It was totally rusted out. They had to replace the entire roof. So you're talking about your A-pillars too were replaced?
It was all hammered in. It was rusty. At first, when we got to that point, we're like, what should we do? I was thinking of getting another car. He's like, no, we can save it. We can just get a donor roof. And I was like, donor roof? What do you mean? And he's all like, I'll cut from the pillar to here in the back, and we'll put a new one in. Just find a good one. So searched and searched, found the wreck one, cut it, put this one in. Finding and measuring it was, it was hard. I
can only imagine, man. And you said in here, your dad put something structural to give it more rigidity. More
rigidity, because if you cut it, you need to have some more strength into it. So he actually put a bar inside. He put it in a little slot, basically, so it can just be slotted in there and then weld around it. These cars have lead in it too, so you have to be very careful not to go through the metal itself because it's thin and it has lead. So he took time in it, and I give him a lot of respect for doing all this.
No kidding, man. So, that's big.
Yeah, he basically made me everything.
Yeah.
And I was there trying to work it out and just doing all the parts, putting it all together. But yeah, he's the metal guy onto this. Yeah. Forming my creation, what I wanted.
Awesome. So something else I found out today about it that I didn't know when I saw this car originally was that you're on air.
Yes, it's a Japanese company called Air Runner.
Okay.
And they're famous for doing a lot of VIP cars like Lexus, Mercedes.
Okay.
A lot of Japanese markets out there. So I told him I need something to make my car look a lot better than what it was already. So he got me with the compressor, with the one-off actual kit that he actually got a guy from Japan, flew him over here and actually constructed the system in the side.
Wow,
so
dude.
It was nice. That's
really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see, because when I saw this car, you had the hood popped and your motor's gorgeous on it. Is it still the original engine that came with this car?
Yes, it is actually.
It is?
It is. With the actual matching numbers L24 block, so it's a 2.4 liter.
Okay.
And I was contemplating what should I do, and we were thinking at home, we're like, okay, let's keep it original. So I ripped up everything apart, put everything back, wanted to keep the same block. I put in a different cam in there, a hotter cam, so there's a little umph to it. Right. Triple Webers, but wanted to keep it original still.
Yeah.
And that's what The
Webers are beautiful, and this plate is so cool.
I made that too at home, copper plate, also on the front, and we wanted to make it look different from other people. Yeah. And we actually formed it, bent it, and stuck it on the bottom. So
that's such a cool touch, man. That's one of my favorite pieces of this car.
I appreciate it because, it's the little things that I'm like, what can we do that? I'm like, I want something different from stainless. What can we do? It's like, okay, let's think of something. I was like, all right, copper. Went around, looked around, industrial metal supply, it's down the street from here.
So this is an actual chunk of copper?
Yes, it is, yeah. It's a sheet of copper, and we cut it to the size that we wanted and bent the edges so that it doesn't cut. And it really does help from the headers that I have too. So it helps the heat dissipate from the Webers.
Got it. Okay.
Because Webers are very, very prone to heat.
And what are these wheels you have on here?
These are Hayashi Racing. So the Hayashi Racing wheels from Japan. People usually put Watanabes, but I wanted something original from Japan, but something they did back in the 70s and 80s and this is what they were into back then.
Got
and
it. Okay.
I waited for about 4 months for these to come in, and it's something not much people have. Hayashis are very rare. So.
Oh, dude, I've never seen these before.
Yeah.
And then did you do any kind of brake upgrade, or?
No, these are actually stock brakes. Cleaned them up with better lines, and the rears are actually stock too. So I want to keep it all stock.
Okay.
And I wanted to basically have the originality of the car, but
a cleaner version.
But a cleaner version. The way it was back then in the 70s when someone modded back in their backyards.
Right.
That's what I want.
Right. I got you.
Yeah. But add a little bit of new stuff into it.
Right. Yeah, because you've got air in here, right?
Right. I got the air. I got the, also, this is the tilt steering wheel.
This is the other thing that stood out to me was that wheel. That thing is so cool.
Thanks, yeah. That's a work spell on my Nardi steering. So basically, like when you go to like GT racing, they don't want to take off the whole thing. Just flip it up and you're in. For this car, it's kind of nice because these bucket seats are hard to get in.
And is this the original seat?
No, these are actually aftermarket seats that basically kind of reminds me of a Porsche, like a 911 type.
Yeah.
And I found these, so I had to pick them up. They look so nice.
It fits the car really well.
Thanks. I like the buttons. It just looks, it looks like it fits the style, and you know, keeps you in place too.
Yeah, totally. Shifter ball.
Shifter ball. I like Dragon Ball, so one of my childhood memories. So I was like, you know what, for fun. The shift boot right there, the cover. Yeah. It's actually a Crown Royale bag.
Oh God, it sure is.
So I just wanted to have a little fun here and there, you know.
What's this? Is this choke?
That's the choke, but we don't use it no more because, you know, because the Webers.
Yep. And is this really a Fairlady Z?
It's a Fairlady Z, yes.
It is,
in Japan, it was a Fairlady Z. That's what they called it. Over here, when they brought it, they put numbers into it. So
yeah, it was the 240Z. I got my very first speeding ticket in a 240Z, a 1970 240Z that my mom owned. And back then, as a kid, it felt like the fastest thing in the world.
Right, exactly. I mean? These little sleek cars, you're driving around the first car.
Yeah. Oh, that thing's cool, man.
There's a story to tell, you know?
So you've done, exhaust is done or no?
Exhaust is actually a straight pipe all the way.
Oh, it is?
It's a straight pipe all the way. No muffler, it's just straight pipe. And it sounds nice, I like it. It's not too loud actually. So,
yeah, no it's not. When you pulled up, it sounds really good though.
Yeah, it's nice. For the inline six with the cam, it just sounds really settled. It's really nice. So I just put a little deck lid spoiler in the back, a BRE, put a BRE front lip. I wanted to make it last long, so you know, I'm gonna keep this forever, as long as I could. So got it. So this is something I wanted to make it last.
Very cool, man. I love your license plate, by the way. Obviously, you're a Snoopy fan.
Snoopy fan, yes. Yes, I am. They took Snoopy, you know, of course someone would, so I had to do something else. Yeah. Snoopy.
Well, I say we go for a little drive and see what it feels like to, you know, be in an old Z again.
Let's take it out.
Let's do it. Dude, I haven't driven a Z since my mom's.
Really? It's been that long?
It's been that long, honestly. Are the brakes manual too? The brakes aren't manual.
They're a regular, with the
you got a booster.
Yeah, I got a booster, so I got everything original in there too. Fixed the booster. When I first started testing it, I had a booster leak. So when I'm on the freeway, only at high RPMs, it would hold. And I was like, all right, it's time to change the booster, swap that out. That was when I first started driving this, after I fixed everything up. I was like, oh, okay. Little things, you know, the build never ends.
That's for sure. Well, I think it's a good thing you went manual, dude. I mean, like this car in an automatic, you can't do that. I love it. These are so neat.
If you rev it hard and let it go, it'll pop.
Nice. It's fun for us because we shoot obviously really high-end stuff. Right. But then I also like to shoot stuff like this that's more down to earth.
Yeah.
Good pops, man. I love it. All right, you guys, that is it for our shoot of Miguel's 72Z. Dig this car, man. I love it. I mean, it's obviously overall, it's a fairly simple car, but the touches he did, I think, are really cool to it. I mean, it just topped it off for me that whole roof's been replaced by him and his dad. Just a cool car, man. And it's kind of funny. I've said this before about not being an airbag guy, but here's another airbagged car, and it just works. I mean, the car looks great when it's sitting like this. Just awesome. I dig it. I love that Miguel took the time to come out and shoot with us today. And this is our first video of 2020, so welcome to the new year. As always, thanks for hanging and watching and supporting what we do. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next episode. All right, man. Later.